I remember my first day at the monster prison like it was yesterday. I had just graduated from college and needed a job. The ad mentioned a night shift position that paid well, and I figured, how bad could it be? Little did I know, I was about to step into a world of terror beyond imagination. The prison was situated on the outskirts of a small, isolated town. Its walls were tall, imposing, and adorned with eerie, ancient symbols. The moment I stepped inside, a chill ran down my spine, and I could feel the oppressive presence of the inmates, even though they were locked away behind multiple layers of reinforced steel. I was assigned to the night shift, and my duties were simple enough: observe the monitors, ensure the security systems were functioning correctly, and respond to any emergencies. As the sun set, the prison transformed into a macabre realm of shadows and whispers. On my first night, I met my coworker, an older man named Thomas, who had seen it all. He tried to warn me about the things that lurked within the walls, but I brushed it off as the ramblings of a seasoned employee trying to spook the new guy. As the clock struck midnight, I settled into my chair, eyes glued to the array of surveillance screens. The inmates were an eclectic mix of horrors, from vampires and werewolves to eldritch beings and shapeshifters. They were contained, yes, but their malevolence seemed to seep through the walls. At first it was quiet, with only the hum of the machines breaking the silence. But as the hours wore on, strange noises started to echo through the prison. Distant screams, unearthly howls, and the sound of something scraping against metal grated on my nerves. I tried to shake off the unease and focus on my work, but every now and then, I caught glimpses of shadows moving in the corner of my eye. Each time I turned to face them, they vanished without a trace. It was as if the darkness itself was alive, playing tricks on my mind. Suddenly the alarm blared, jolting me from my seat. One of the cell doors had been breached. I rushed to the control panel, my heart pounding in my chest. The security footage showed a humanoid figure darting through the halls with supernatural speed. Fear gripped me as I realized the breach had occurred in Block D, home to some of the most dangerous entities known to man. Thomas warned me about this, but I wasn't prepared for the reality of facing a monster in the flesh. I radioed for backup, but the response was static. Panic set in as I found myself alone, forced to confront whatever had broken free. I armed myself with a makeshift weapon and ventured into the dimly lit corridors. The air was thick with an acrid stench as I navigated the labyrinthine halls. My footsteps echoed loudly, betraying my presence to anything nearby. I moved cautiously, trying to suppress the terror that threatened to overwhelm me. As I turned a corner, I came face to face with the creature responsible for the breach. It was a towering, hulking mass of muscle and fur, with eyes that glowed like embers. My voice caught in my throat as the monster growled menacingly. I raised my weapon, but it was clear I was no match for this beast. My hands trembled, and I could feel cold sweat trickling down my back. The creature lunged, and I closed my eyes, expecting the end to come swiftly. But then, a deafening gunshot rang out, and the monster staggered backward. Thomas stood there, his gun smoking, his expression grim. He had followed me, knowing that I would need help. We retreated, luring the creature back towards its cell. With the combined effort of the entire night shift team, we managed to subdue it and secure the cell once again. It was a harrowing experience, one that left me shaken to the core. Over the weeks that followed, I learned the true nature of the monster prison. The creatures held within its walls were not merely dangerous entities, they were manifestations of our deepest fears, nightmares given flesh and blood. Every night, we battled against the darkness, keeping the world safe from these horrors that sought to break free. Each night shift took its toll on my sanity, and I often found myself questioning reality. The job changed me, scarred me in ways I couldn't articulate. The line between dreams and reality blurred, and I began to see things even when I wasn't on duty. The monsters haunted my every thought, their malevolence seeping into my mind. Eventually, I had to leave the job. I couldn't bear the weight of the nightmares anymore. I bid farewell to Thomas and the other brave souls who continued to protect humanity from the shadows. Now as I sit here, writing this account, I know that the horrors of the monster prison will never truly leave me. They linger in the darkest corners of my mind, waiting for a moment of weakness to resurface. So, if you ever find yourself near that small town with the imposing prison walls, remember to say a prayer for those who guard the monsters, for they battle not just the terrors within the prison, but the ones that lurk within themselves.